Myself is Divya Bahal, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. The subject that we are going to continue is Mass Transfer Operations 2. So, in this lecture we will start with a new chapter, that is your drying. Okay? Drying, here you can relate humidification with drying, right? So, first of all, what is drying? See, it is removal of moisture from wet solid by passing of unsaturated air. So in humidification you studied about what is unsaturated air, right? When the partial pressure of your water vapor, okay, that is less than the vapor pressure of your pure liquid, then that is your unsaturated air, okay. It involves the removal of water at the temperature which is below the boiling point of your liquid, right? So for unsaturated air, what you know, that its relative humidity, it is less than 100% and the partial pressure is less than vapor pressure. So it means if your relative humidity is 0, okay, 0% relative humidity is there, it means the moisture removal would be maximum using that air, okay. Dry gas, what is dry gas? Its relative humidity is 0. So if you are using dry gas to dry out your your wet solid, okay, then maximum amount of moisture can be removed from your wet solid. So here you can see the operation, okay, your solid, okay, wet solid, dry air is passing through it. So what will happen? Evaporation will occur, okay, moisture will transfer from wet solid to your dry gas media. But the temperature would be what? It would be less than the boiling point of your liquid, right? So this is your drying. Now, how drying occurs? Okay, suppose here first of all let's have the nomenclature proper. Here PA is what? Partial pressure of moisture in the air, okay. If I am not using dry gas, okay, normal gas I am using, little bit amount of water vapor is present in it. So PA is what? Partial pressure of your moisture in air. PAV is what? Vapor pressure of moisture present in air, okay. Here note down the notations. PAV, what is that? Vapor pressure of moisture present in air, in solid, okay. Of course the moisture which would be present in your solid, okay, wet solid, right? It would exert some amount of vapor pressure on the solid surface. Whereas PA satisfies what? Vapor pressure of your pure liquid, okay. Now, for transfer of moisture to occur, what is necessary? That partial pressure of moisture in the air must be less than vapor pressure of moisture on the solid surface. Then and only then there would be a difference in mass, okay. Then and only then from surface your moisture will transform into air. If partial pressure of your water vapor, okay, of your moisture, it is less than the vapor pressure of moisture which is present in your wet solid, right? Now here important term is coming here. What is unbound moisture? Okay, if vapor pressure which is exerted by moisture on wet solid, that is equal to the vapor pressure of pure liquid, then that is your unbound moisture, okay. If your solid is heavily wet, okay, large amount of water is present, okay, take an example of drying clothes. Just when you're taking out your clothes from the water, okay, it is extremely wet. So a thin film of layer it can be taken as that your solid, it is covered with a liquid surface, okay, and then the vapor pressure which is exerted by that moisture, right, if that is equal to vapor pressure of your pure liquid, then that is your unbound moisture, okay. See, equality must be there between what? Vapor pressure of moisture which is present in the solid, that must be equal to vapor pressure of your pure liquid, okay. Here you can take that it behaves like a liquid surface because that much amount of moisture is present, right? Now, types of moisture representation, okay. You're describing your moisture content in two forms, dry basis and wet basis. What is dry basis? It is defined as ratio of weight of moisture, okay, weight of water present to the weight of dry solid, okay. Here you can see that wet weight minus dry weight. What is that? That gives you moisture content upon dry weight, right? So that is your dry basis representation of moisture content, okay. Suppose here A is your moisture, B is your dry solid. So A by B is what? Your dry wet analysis, okay. On the dry basis you are representing your moisture, that is how much moisture is present to the amount of dry solid. Whereas on wet basis representation, it is defined as ratio of moisture present to the wet solid, okay. Here you can see that on wet basis you have amount of moisture. What is that? Wet weight minus dry weight upon wet weight, that is your wet basis analysis, okay. Simple example, your cloth, okay, when it is dry, its weight is suppose 100 grams. When you are soaking it into water, suppose 130 grams is now the weight. So that 130 minus 100, what is that? That 30 gram is your water which is now present. Okay, so this way you can relate your representation of moisture content. Now the relation between dry basis and wet basis moisture content. Okay, so what I define dry basis, that it is ratio of moisture to the dry solid. Okay, hence I am representing it as A by B. Whereas your wet basis, okay, it is represented as A upon A plus B, because what is it? It is a moisture present to the wet solid. Your wet solid is what? A plus B. See here, your wet solid is A plus B. So A upon A plus B is what? Your wet basis analysis, right? So if I am taking out B constant, then I get it as A by B whole upon A by B plus 1. Okay, but your A by B is what? That is your dry basis moisture content. Okay, capital X. Okay, see here it is ratio. Whereas your wet basis, what is it? That is a fraction. Amount of water present upon total amount. Okay, water and dry solid, that is your total system. Okay, so that is representation of what? Your wet basis is your mole fraction, whereas your dry basis, that is your weight fraction. Okay, your wet basis is your mass or mole fraction, whereas your dry basis is it's a weight fraction. Okay, it's in the form of ratio A by B, weight of moisture upon weight of dry solid. So hence your mole fraction, wet basis, that is equal to capital X upon 1 plus X. Okay, so here you can remember this. You have to remember this because when we are solving sums, okay, sometimes you confuse examiner, they represent their moisture content in form of wet basis or dry basis. So you must be very clear how to change the relation. So your small x, wet basis, is equal to capital X upon 1 plus X. Similarly, when you are finding dry basis, that is equal to small x upon 1 minus X, right? So for example, in sums they have given like 20% is given. Nothing is mentioned that it is your dry or wet. Then by default you have to take it as wet basis. Okay, you have to take the mole here, mole or mass fraction. Now important terminologies here are equilibrium moisture content. So this is the moisture content which is in thermodynamic equilibrium with its vapor. Okay, it is the limiting condition till which your drying can be occur. Okay, so suppose means up to that level only you can use drying operation to take out the moisture. Beyond that your moisture cannot be removed. So that is what your equilibrium moisture content. Next is the bound moisture. It is the moisture in a solid material which exerts a vapor pressure less than that of the vapor pressure of pure liquid. Okay, the vapor pressure which is exerted by moisture, that is less than vapor pressure of your pure liquid, right? Now unbound moisture, it is the moisture which exerts an equilibrium vapor pressure equal to that of pure liquid at given temperature. It acts like your liquid surface. So here also we saw if PAV is equal to PA stat, that is the representation of your unbound moisture. Free moisture is what? The moisture content beyond the equilibrium moisture content which can be dried up. Okay, overall till equilibrium, that much amount of moisture which is present which can be dried up, that is your free moisture. So see here from graphical analysis. Okay, your equilibrium curve is what? It is a plot of humidity versus percent. It is a plot of your relative humidity versus moisture content, right? So that is your equilibrium moisture curve. So here you can see that your free moisture is what? It includes unbound moisture content plus certain part of bound moisture content. Okay, whereas your equilibrium moisture content you can see on the moisture content plot. Okay, beyond that your drying is not possible. Okay, so in drying operation, moisture can only be removed up to free moisture content. Okay, so till free moisture only your drying operation is valid. Okay, beyond that, that amount of moisture cannot be removed at that particular temperature. If you want to further remove that moisture, you have to change the operating condition of what? Of your air which is used. Okay, you have to change the humidity of your air now. You have to change the operating conditions of air, right? Then and only then the equilibrium will get disturbed, right? Next is the drying rate curve. Okay, what is drying rate curve? This is the rate of drying curve which gives relationship between rate of drying. Okay, now your rate of drying is expressed as what? It is expressed as kg of moisture evaporated per unit time. In what time you are doing that? Per drying area which is subjected to drying. Okay, so that drying area. So your rate is representation as kg moisture evaporated per unit time per drying area. So your drying rate curve is your relationship between this drying rate with moisture content on dry basis. Okay, dry basis is important here. It means you will take what? Mass ratio. Okay, A by B, that is your dry basis. So this gives you relationship between drying rate with respect to the moisture content on dry basis. Okay, so here you can see that these are the representation of your drying rate. Okay, now your drying rate curve is divided into two parts. Okay, it's constant drying rate and falling rate period. Again, your drying curve, it has two parts. Okay, because just take an example. Just you're soaking your clothes in your water and you're drying it. Okay, in starting the moisture content is very high. Okay, so that drying rate would be different. And then after few hours in the sunlight, okay, moisture content has been removed up to very large extent. Further drying, the rate would be different now, right? So first of all, what is constant drying rate? In this period, the transfer of moisture from inside of solid to the surface, that is equal to removal of moisture from the surface. Okay, of course, your solid, okay, it might be porous also. So evenly your moisture is distributed from beneath that body. Okay, your moisture has to reach to the surface first of all. That transfer of moisture to the surface, that would be equal to the moisture which is removing from the surface and going to air. Okay, so here you can see in the example, from the body it is reaching to the surface, then from the surface it is transferring into air. So that rate is equal. It means mathematically your drying rate is what? Constant. It is constant, right? So hence your drying rate here is what? Learn this here. At constant rate period, NC, okay, rate of drying at constant period, that is equal to minus SS upon A into dx by dt. Okay, this is the rate of drying which is constant. Okay, where your SS, that is what? Weight of dry solid. Okay, see, when you're representing all equations in your dry form, then in exam also, when your questions would be given, if you're deriving your all equations with respect to dry basis, then you have to compulsory convert all your data into dry basis, right? So here weight of dry solid is there. Okay, if S is my weight of wet solid, then your SS can be represented as S into 1 minus X. Okay, X is what? Your mole fraction. Okay, so this way you have to be very clear. Now here you can see that first graph, that is representation of your moisture content with respect to time. So you can see that first of all preheating period is there. Okay, your solid, wet solid, it adjusts to the temperature. Then at constant drying period you can see it is continuously decreasing with time. Okay, so that rate with respect to time is what? Constant. Okay, and then you can see a little bit slope is there. Okay, so that is what? Falling drying period, that is not constant. Now see the another graph, it is with respect to drying rate versus the moisture content. Okay, your drying rate with respect to moisture content. So you can see that straight line. Okay, in the right hand side, constant drying rate period, you can see where external and heat and mass transfer control is written. Okay, you can see moisture removal, that is constant. Okay, and in the y-axis what you have? Drying rate. N is constant. Okay, straight line is there, it means it is constant. Okay, but you can see that your X is getting removed, that is moisture is getting removed here, but your rate is constant. So that is your constant drying rate period. Whereas the second, you can see it is decreasing, okay, in second graph. So that is what your falling drying rate period. Now here important terminology is that critical moisture content. Here you can see that what is XC. This is the moisture content which shows the transition in drying rate. Okay, in simple language, it is the moisture where constant rate period ends and your falling rate period starts. Okay, again take an example of your drying your clothes. Okay, when the moisture content is very high, when you are starting it, okay, it will decrease and decrease. Then after some transition, your rate trend has been changed. So that particular moisture content, okay, which shows the transition of these two rates, that is your critical moisture content. So here you can see that in the second graph, XC in your moisture x-axis. Okay, so that is your XC, critical moisture content, where constant drying rate period ends and your falling drying rate period starts. So For constant rate period, what is your relationship? NC is equal to minus SS upon A into dx by dt. Right now we have to integrate it. So the limit is what? When you're starting your drying, okay, at t equal to 0, your initial moisture content is what? Xi, okay. Now you will continue drying, okay. Constant rate period will exist till Xc, till critical moisture content, okay. Here you can see that till Xc only your rate is what? Constant rate period. So at that time, at Tc time, you are getting your moisture content which is removed, that is more than or equal to Xc. Till that time only your constant rate period is there. So limit is again what? At T equal to Tc, your moisture content, that is less than Xi but greater than equal to Xc, okay. So from here you can see that from Xi, okay, in constant rate period in the right hand side graph, you can see that from Xi to Xc only your moisture would be removed in your constant rate period, okay. So integrating it, you get your final equation as of Tc, okay. That is the time required to dry or to remove that much amount of solid in which period? In constant rate period. So your Tc is what? SS upon A and C into Xi minus X, okay. So X is what here? X is here till what amount of moisture you have to remove it, okay. So it would be given in the exam, but your representation is what? It is in the form of mass ratio, okay, A by B. It is not mole fraction. Keep in mind this is your mass ratio. The next rate is falling rate period, okay. In this period your rate goes on decreases as moisture content decreases, okay. So here you can see that for the graph of rate versus moisture content, okay, linearly it is decreasing. C to E, that is your falling rate period. DC is what? Your constant rate period, whereas your EC is what? Your falling rate period. So you can see that as moisture content is decreasing, rate is also decreasing. Now let's take an example. Let's take assumption that your trend, okay, followed in falling rate period, that is your straight line. Hence your representation of rate is what? Mx plus C, okay, equation of line. Now at NC, at C point, okay, what is the representation? NC is equal to M into Xc plus C, okay, because at C point the moisture content is what? Xc. Now at point E, okay, at point E, see what we are doing? We are taking the coordinates of this line, okay, of EC line only we are taking the coordinates, and from the property of line we are deriving it, right? At point E, you can see it is 0 is there, okay, hence 0 is equal to M into X star. What is X star? That is your equilibrium moisture content, X star, okay. So hence your second equation is what? 0 is equal to M X star plus C, right? So this way solving it, what you will get? You get your slope, that is NC upon Xc minus X star, and your intercept is what? Minus NC X star whole upon Xc minus X star. Okay, see we are taking it up to only X star because at equilibrium moisture content, what? That is your limiting condition till which you can remove your moisture. Okay, so this way you got your slope value and intercept value. Now what you have to do again? What is the representation of your drying rate? That is N equal to minus SSA upon dx by dt. Okay, now what you are doing? You have to integrate it now. Okay, now instead of N, what I am substituting? I am substituting Mx plus C. We have the value of M and C, right? Now integrate it. Now important point is the limits. Okay, when you are starting your drying for falling rate period, okay, suppose at that T equal to 0 time, right? I am only considering EC time, okay, hence at that time I am taking what? 0. So at time T equal to 0, your limit is what? X1 is less than Xc, okay. Here you can see that your C point, your EC is your falling rate period, okay. So for drying, your moisture content which is less than Xc, okay, from X star to Xc we have to remove the moisture content in falling rate period. So for T, at T equal to 0, your X1, when you are starting drying at falling rate period, that is less than Xc. Now till when you can remove it? Till TF point, okay, that is the time required to dry off during the falling rate period. X2 is what? That is a final moisture content. That would be more than what? Equilibrium moisture content, okay. So X star is more than, X star is the final point, right? So your X2, the final moisture content, that would be more than X star, okay. Hence This is your limit. Now solving this equation, you get your final relationship as TF is equal to SS into XC minus extra whole upon NCA into ln of XC minus extra whole upon X2 minus extra, right? So this is the equation of what? Of your falling rate period. So, but note here the value of slope and intercept which you've calculated, right? That is the constant, okay? Because XC and extra are the finite values, okay? It is not changing, hence your slope and intercept and even your rate NC, that is constant. The total drying rate, okay, total drying rate is summation of TC plus TF, okay. TC is what? Time required in constant rate period, okay, time required to dry the moisture from in constant rate period, that is BC point, okay. In BC line, the time required to dry off plus the time required in falling rate period, okay, EC line. So that is the total drying time which is required, right? So this was about your drying rates.